countyradio.com. And today we're talking with a few gentlemen about the upcoming rally in Beaver, the Support Our Troops rally. And Larry, I believe you want to just come up a little further where the mic is. Just bring a chair, whatever it is. You can take the chair with you. It doesn't have to stay there. But how have you guys introduce yourselves one at a time?
Larry Goodkins, good morning, and thanks for having us on. Many of you know me. I'm the president of the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 862, in southwestern Pennsylvania. And every year we have a Support Our Troops rally. As many of you know, the Vietnam veterans were not welcomed home very well, but one of the missions of the Vietnam Veterans of America is that never again will one generation of veterans abandon another. With that in mind, every year, I can't remember how many years, Rudy Zetz is with me. He'll remember because he's older than I am. No, he won't, he says. But we've done it for since I've been associated with the chapter, so it's at least 17, 18 years, just to support our veterans that are out protecting our freedom. So thanks for having us on. I'm going to introduce Rudy Zetz. Many of you may know him. I'm sorry if you do, but many of you may know him. He's been in Beaver County forever.
Yeah, I always loved it. And the worst part is he's an officer. We had to salute him. However, I'm Rudy Zetz. You used to know me. I used to be somebody, but those days are gone by, I think. But this project that we do, I hope is going to continue for years and years and years. And what we're trying to do right now, as a matter of fact, since I've been involved, I kind of brought the entertainment into it, and then started getting more involved in the physical part of it. I think last year we decided that up until then, we were like the Vietnam vets were the largest group of veterans that were out there. We got the WW2 guys were going, the Korea guys. So it was kind of us, and that's where our focus was, because that's what we had. And then it dawned on me that man, we had 20 years of desert fighting going on, and we haven't mentioned these guys yet. So last year we kind of brought in a whole bunch of folks, and it went extremely well, I thought. And I think we're going to try to continue doing that today. We had like the Legion Riders are going to be there talking and bringing their motorcycles. And I brought a friend of mine along today, Kevin Broderick, that let me say this. The two guys that I know that do the most for veterans are non-veterans. Neither one of these guys serve, but they're probably bigger patriots than most of the guys that put their time in, because we just didn't know no better. I don't know, but kind of what we want to try to get done this year here is continue with that, support the troops that are today. Mm-hmm. I'm supposed to talk about the entertainment. The entertainment is going to be kind of good. It's going to be me, my cousin, and the computer. It's going to be the Fallon brothers. They're going to do an acoustic thing, and then I've got Hat Trick coming on, and that's Jimmy and Dina Miller, Ray Hernandez, and Randy Catalano. So you've seen them all around before. Grab your chairs, come on out. We got food going on down there. On that, I don't know. Just come on down and physically show them your support. And now, Kevin, are you trying to interrupt me? Okay. Majors are like that. They're always like that. And the worst part, he flew an airplane. 192 missions? No, 93, excuse me. I said 193. 193 missions. You know he's not right in the head. Okay. Kevin is involved with the Veterans Leadership Program, and that kind of folds into what we're trying to do today to get the newer vets involved with this thing, and to show that, man, they put their time in. Every vet out there, I talk with my hands a lot. Every vet out there knows what I'm talking about. If you didn't put your right hand up, you ain't one of us. We want your support and all that sort of stuff, but everybody out there I know that is a vet has that camaraderie that I don't care, and we all talk about each other. But if push came to shove, stand back, we're going to all be there. So, Kevin, you want to talk about what you guys are doing or can do?
Yeah. Jump in. Yeah, I've been involved locally with some veteran support groups. I think what Rudy's talking about is more they refer to as the desert guys.
The desert guys.
Basically, you know, as Rudy said, there were 20 years still of fighting going on, and it's still going on. But you know, this group now was involved with the It's About the Warrior Foundation years ago on their board. They focused on all the post 9/11 veterans, but now there's another group locally called Veterans Leadership Program, and I believe 40 years ago they were the Vietnam Veterans Leadership Program. And the reason why you have all these local organizations is some of the facts there. Pennsylvania has the 4th largest veteran population in the United States. And also the tri-state area, going back to the Revolutionary War, has the highest participation rate for the military in the history of this country. So you need to show up at these events like Support the Troops Rally. And I just recommend anybody, just go to one, find an event, try and get involved. There's so many needs out there still that the VA can't do it all. So these groups, and especially the Vietnam group, has done a wonderful job. I believe you're still the 2nd largest, Larry, in the country, 3rd largest. But as Rudy was talking about, you want this to continue. You know, unfortunately, you're still going to need support for veterans now and probably 40 years from now. So recommend people to come out, get to know the folks, get to know the veterans. I think once you come to one of these events, you'll want to get involved.
Yes, and that's what makes events like these so great, is that it not only gathers the veterans together, like Larry was saying earlier, to gather them together and bring them and make sure that their whole aura is, you know, that their stories are not going away, but it also brings light to what the veterans have done to those who never served, to those who, you know, maybe become to one of these rallies for the first time and sort of getting an idea of what that is. And that is an immense thing that cannot be taken away. Because again, like you said earlier, you know, back whenever they were coming home for the first time from Vietnam, you know, they weren't respected. They weren't, you know, necessarily greeted in the best of ways. And now it's a matter of these veterans helping each other out throughout all these different wars, whether it be a Desert Storm, Iraq, Afghanistan, to all come together for that cause. So we're going to continue talking about this on the other side of the break. We're talking with Rudy Zetz, Larry Googans, and Kevin Broderick about the Support the Troops rally in Beaver, in Irvine Park, next Saturday, the 26th. We'll continue talking about it here on Beaver County Radio in just a little bit. Tom Sipes Demolition is a one-stop shop for demolition services. Their over 38 years experience enables them to understand and anticipate their customers' needs before they do. Whatever your demolition requirements are, including asbestos removal, Tom Sipes Demolition can do the job best. They have the experience, equipment, expertise, qualifications, and professionalism to handle all your demolition needs. No job too big or too small. Tom Sipes Demolition at 724-495-2712.
Hot summer nights might be perfect for cruising, but not so much for sleeping. Keep the heat outdoors where it belongs, and that means a service call and checkup of your home's air conditioning system from Beaver Valley Sheet Metal. Click BVSM1.com. Call 724-775-7300. BVSM Heating and Air Conditioning is your certified HVAC company serving Beaver County into its 7th decade. PA number 3285. For the 13th year in a row, eyes will turn to the skies on the 4th Saturday of June in Beaver County. That's because it's Beaver County Boom, and it's bigger and better than ever. Make plans to be part of Pandemonium and Atmosphere on Saturday, June 25th. Enjoy a military plane flyover at 7. It all takes place over the Ohio River between Monaca and Rochester. Bring your radio and tune in to the Presley Ridge live broadcast on Beaver County Radio, beginning at 6 with the fireworks happening at 9:45. Title presenter sponsor is Visit Beaver County. The platinum sponsor is American General Services. Media partners include the Beaver County Times and Beaver County Radio. Silver sponsors include A.K. Mayhouse, Borough of Beaver, Cambridge Village, Covenant Financial Advisors, IBEW Local Union 712, Fort McIntosh Foundation, and Hap Enterprises Incorporated, among others. Don't miss the Beaver County Boom, June 25th.
You're listening to Beaver County Radio, 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge, broadcasting live from the St. Barnabas Studios.
And we're back on AM Beaver County on this Friday morning. And we're talking with Rudy Zetz, Larry Googins, and Kevin Broderick from the Support Our Troops rally taking place next week in Beaver on June 26th. And we were talking before about sort of the meaning behind this event, and the major meaning being, telling these stories and gathering these veterans together to make sure that they are not forgotten and that, as the title says, are supported. And if someone is going to come to this event, what should they bring? Anything like a lawn chair, anything to prepare for the day? What are some of the details behind that?
Yeah, again, thank you for having us on.
Yes.
Rudy mentioned earlier that some of the members that are setting up the Support of Troops were not Vietnam veterans, are not veterans. And the main character who has led this in the past years is an individual named Bob Gwynn, again, who is not a veteran. But he's taken it upon himself to honor veterans. So I want to thank him. He can't be here today because he has a head cold and didn't want to give it to Rudy.
Yeah.
Thank God. So, but I just want to mention that. I might also, if it's okay, mention Brighton Music, who supplies the sound for us voluntarily at no charge, and many other organizations who help support this, Support a Troops rally. So, yes, bring a lawn chair and anything else you'd like to bring with you. Just sit in the under the trees and enjoy the festivities, the music. There will be some light food, hot dogs, nachos, soft drinks, water, items like that you can sit and enjoy. So, but just a lawn chair and anything other personal items you would like to bring. Again, we've done this, and it's very well supported by the community in the local surrounding southwestern Pennsylvania areas, especially Beaver County, of course. So please come on down. Was there another question I missed?
No. That's the question I asked, and I'm very glad you answered that the way you did. And again, this is going to be one of those situations because it's not going to be just there is that solemnity that comes with discussing the war era and talking about friends you knew then that may have passed on now or passed on back then. But there's also a celebration of gathering together, a celebration of getting everybody together to, talk about these stories. And because I've talked to, members before, from like the Veterans Breakfast Committee and guys like that, where, the stories are endless. The stories are endless, and the conversations are endless. And not only that, but those who are coming here for the first time, they'll get to hear some of these stories as well. And on top of all that, as Rudy had mentioned earlier, there's going to be a lot of musical entertainment there to celebrate the troops. And Rudy, when you start having these performances at events like these, where you're talking about supporting the troops and everything, does it take a different tone in the performance that goes on, and that you're performing for these guys, or is it just a matter of, hey, we're all just Americans like everybody else, and we're here to have a celebration?
I think it depends if you're a vet. I think you just as a vet, you just accept the fact that you were a vet, and this is what you did, and you go out and do the job that you have to do. I think non-vets look at it a little bit different. Like, man, okay, I want to perform real good for this. I want to make sure we happen real good. A couple of years ago, I pulled some of the best musicians anywhere in the world, probably, but in Beaver County for sure, that were all vets. They were all vets, and we put them together, and they put a band together. And I said, it's just crazy. We had these monster players, Joe Monroe being one of them, Bobby Veld, of course, being another. I'm a mess up if I try to mention them all, but they got up there and played, and I'm sitting there thinking, man, this collection of talent, and they all served. They all put their time in. And I think that, again, the difference being vets, I don't think, expect anything. I know we didn't expect anything when we came home. I didn't join the service to have somebody pat me on the head and say thank you. I mean, that never happened way back when. It changed with the Desert guys, and thank God it did. It finally brought to the forefront, man, these guys out there putting their lives on the line, and again, as a vet, you don't think about that stuff. It's just what you do. But but in all reality, it's serious business. But so back to the question, I guess is there a difference when you're playing in front of vets or for vets or whatever? As a vet, probably not, because I'm gonna put out what I can every time, anytime. I think it does make a difference for a non-vet to get up and perform. You, as a musician, entertainment, you put your best out all the time, anytime, anyway, or don't even come out to the show, man. Stay home. So that's kind of the long and short. Not real short, but long of it anyway.
No, that's understandable, and very much to the point that, again, if you're a non-veteran, you may be in an arena for the first time that you've never been in before, and that's the case for even a lot of the, participants who are going to be there who aren't going to be part of the entertainment, but more or less going to be part of everything else. Kevin, you want to say something as well?
Yeah, being a non-veteran, but from a veteran's family. My father served during Korea, my son in Marine in Iraq and Afghanistan. But, the one thing that impresses me the most, being a non-veteran, is the bond and the family tightness that I see in all the veterans. I mean, and it's something, believe it or not, you can almost get jealous of. That tightness and bond and the family type, the togetherness, when you see that being a non-veteran, it's so impressive. So I think just if you're coming to this event as a non-veteran, just be able to look around and just see what that bond, and believe me, you're going to be impressed. It's just something you can't describe that I'm sure you guys here, Larry and Rudy, being veterans, you understand. We don't, but let me tell you, it's impressive.
Let me just throw this in there with Kevin. Again, two guys that are non-vets do more for vets than anybody I know. But Kevin's going to bring a young man. You want to tell him about Brandon? He's going to bring this guy down, and he'll give you a quick story of this.
Yeah, his name's Brandon Rumbaugh. You could probably look him up on the internet. He's fairly well known in this area. But Brandon is a Marine that when he was over in Afghanistan, came back from a patrol, and all the guys tell me that served over there, what an IED explosion sounds like. Well, he heard one go off. They just come back from doing their gig. They put their gear right back on, knowing somebody got blown up. They go running out to try and save this guy. And typically the procedure is you have to wait for minesweepers to come in to clear the area because there could be secondary IEDs. Brandon knew he didn't have time. Brandon went in to try and save him, and he got blown up and lost both legs. And to this day, he goes out and does motivational speaking to try and help others.
That's the camaraderie you can't buy.
Wow, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You can't buy that because that is the kind of sacrifice that is, at the core of what the troops have done in past wars and what the ones that are doing now are involved with, and everything that is there. Because again, it's not going to be a solemn event next Saturday. It's going to be an event of gathering, an event of, hey, how you doing? There's going to be singing, food, hopefully good weather, and all of that is going to be part of this. But there is that element of, this is why we're doing this. This is why we've been doing this, so that, what these guys did overseas in these wars is not in vain. And that, stories like that are particularly why that is the case. So I thank you guys for sharing that. And again, hopefully that story gets, resonates quite a bit when it takes place next week at Irvine Park in Beaver, because again, these kinds of events, they do happen on a somewhat regular basis, but at the same time, to take the level of, it's just one of these events, take it for granted, you never know. You never know when the last time you guys are going to gather is.
And the thing about it, I'd like you to just say, if you're coming there, there's going to be a bunch of vets hanging around. There's going to be motorcycle vets and so forth. Like, go up and just touch them, man. Say hi. Thank you for serving. Welcome home. Welcome home. Appreciate your service, man.
Exactly. Because again, they may not have gotten that before, and even if they did, that's something that, saying, hey, thank you for what you've done and everything that you've done, that cannot be taken for granted. That cannot be taken for granted because of the level of sacrifice that's been done before. But again, to reiterate, even though the circumstances in which these gatherings may have some darkness and solemnity and a little bit of a bitter feeling to them, that, you know, the celebration that takes from it, you know, sort of the flower that blooms from the storm, if you will, is very much going to be one of celebration, gathering, happiness, and, you know, a reverence, in a sense, to those who served and those who gave their sacrifices overseas. So, Larry, Rudy, Kevin, thank you guys so much for coming in today. Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, I know it's getting a bit late here.
That's right.
I do know Brandon. You don't want to miss this. He's come to a couple of our events, and as you said, this is a young man that you want to listen to. It's upbeat, and you'll find that out. Second thing, we mentioned the Veterans Breakfast Club. I'd like to put a plug in for them.
Sure.
That organization are the ones that goes around, some virtual, some live. The next one, I think, is locally is in August at the Seven Oaks Country Club, and that's where we meet veterans and let them tell their stories. And if you haven't been to one of those, you're missing a lot. So please come out. The Support of Troops Rally. I'll ask the question for WBVP. How much does it cost to attend this?
Nothing. Zero. That is exactly right. It does not cost anything to attend. So
Just your patriotism. That's all.
yes, absolutely. And you're of undivided attention whenever it comes up. So that's a very good point. We got to get that in there, that it is free. So that is one of the parts about it. It's like, hey, if you're not doing anything, come on out, bring your chair. You know, might cost you a chair, but
Come on down. Me and JoJo are going to be looking for you.
there you go.
Yeah, one thing to remember, we're celebrating what the veterans have done, but the work doesn't end
Yeah, sure.
when they come back. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
That's very true too. Very true too. Thank you guys so much for coming in today. And again, hopefully it's a great rally coming up in a couple of weeks.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Teleform's next.
Tune in every Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. for another insightful edition of